I can't remember what the plan is. Yes, the plan is eventually to put images in that record too. So that the patient's images are also there.
The GP system record, is that integrated amongst those GPs so that you can transfer, like, let's say somebody relocates and they transfer to another GP. Does that record shift over to the other GP?
They move that record to the other GP. Yeah. They're not putting it, everything's not going into one file. These are all in GP offices. Okay? And they're not all, well, yeah, they're basically the same system in all the offices.
Do all these offices are plugged into a central repository, or are they site-specific?
No. No, that's the point. That's their strategy. They're not plugging into a central repository. They're plugging into an exchange capability that will let data flow between them and other organizations, but they're not plugging into a central repository.
What do you do if someone turns the power off in one of the offices?
Sorry?
What do you do if someone turns the power off in one of the offices?
That's trouble. That's trouble.
So you mean that the GPs are running all their own databases?
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's the Welsh approach. It's the way Alberta would love to do it too. If they had the choice, a lot of physicians would much prefer. And why a lot of physicians are not opting in for the BCP project. They want their data under their control. They want it in the ASP model.
The privacy issues, like, is it because that's still, you know, I think it's
Variety of reasons. There's a surprising number of, you know the number of percentage of physicians in BC who are not going to treat it intentionally?
None of them will get through.
There's quite a few.
We've got about.
I'm aware of 4, and I mean, I've got a small sample size. I'm aware of 4. They're intentionally not going through people.
We've got a pretty good uptake in the province right now.
Yeah.
A lot of the interest is around the ASP model. Physicians are actually interested in that. They don't have it in their offices anymore.
But not all physicians are comfortable with that model.
No, they're not comfortable, but once they see the model working, they actually get pretty excited about it.
Okay, let's move on. Hong Kong.
It's in English.
Yes. Hong Kong is a bit of a success story. They have 262 facilities. I can't remember how many of them are hospitals, but obviously certain of those are hospitals. And there's 8 million citizens there. And basically all the public facilities in Hong Kong, they all share one record. So there is in that case a central repository. All the data is in one place, so that regardless of where you go inside Hong Kong, as long as you're inside the public system, then the physician and clinicians have access to it. Quite an advanced system from what I understand. They're now working on the next stage to bring that sort of to a national level, which means they're going to incorporate the private sector. There's quite a large private component in Hong Kong. Okay? And they're starting to make commitments. They've made commitments, financial commitments, and forecasting economic benefits to beginning to share the data between the public and the private sector. Singapore, which Dick mentioned briefly this morning. Singapore has got, again, a different kind of healthcare system. And in their case, they've got sort of 2 major public corporations, what they call, that are overseeing 7 public hospitals. And they have systems and solutions in each of them, quite different and independent. They have a government strategy that, there is the government strategy, and Nick sort of made a passing reference to that. In some cases, in some countries, the EL strategy is a subset of a broader national government strategy on the use of information technology. And Singapore is one of those cases. So the e-health component is just a part of the bigger strategy, which they call HINF551, which is for all government and all of the country in terms of moving on the e-health agenda, moving on the e-agenda, not just the e-health agenda. within their, within the portion of health, they've set these 3 priorities just last year as to what their 3 top priorities are. And their first priority is to develop a health information exchange, which suggests right away that it doesn't look like they're moving down a single EHR kind of approach. They're moving down an approach that will allow organizations to exchange data electronically about a given patient. So probably, can't say for sure, but I suspect the only thing that they will have probably is that all of the participants will have access to a central registry. The central registry basically just contain the patient's name, identification, and likely pointers to where data exists for that individual. An approach that's common in a number of countries, where there's no central data being kept, only a registry which contains pointers as to where data for that individual exists. I believe Singapore has I'm pretty sure they have a unique national identifier. So that simplifies their life without that. And the Americans are going to have a real challenge because they want to set up exchanges. Sorry?
Smaller population.
Oh yeah, substantially. What's the population in Singapore? Probably 3 or 4 million? 6 million. And then they want the next priority is to allow this integration of care and allow the exchange on healthy. And they're also developing their manpower. Sarah, I'm surprised. Talk to Sarah about using that word manpower.
So the question just around that model of application or data usage, what would be the driving force between having a central repository of sort of tombstone information and then maybe all the medical data dispersed in other areas, and having pointers between the 2?
Well, why do you think the driving force is to exchange data as opposed to bring data together?
Certainly see privacy being a concern.
That's one. Yeah.
Maintain autonomy.
Sorry?
Maintain autonomy between the
They have these separate organizations already. Trying to bring them together in some fashion to agree to give up, so to speak, their data would be very difficult. In the same fashion of trying to change our healthcare system from a federated system to a national system, probably virtually impossible. And the provinces just wouldn't give up that kind of thing. And you see that even within provinces, even within an organization. How many of you encountered a situation where you work for one organization and you have trouble getting data from another department because they don't want to share it?
More interestingly, with DICOM images now, it's exactly the opposite. People do not want to pollute their databases with other images from other places because of the way the databases are, like, you've only got so much storage. So
they don't want any
like for example, VGH has refused to populate. Like basically they said, you can't import DICOM images from any other
somewhere else.
hospital into our system.
But
And we
they're willing
took
to
the other
let-
tack, we said we've got to take everything because we've got these kids with cancer that we need to
But they're
compare.
willing to let others go in and get the data.
Oh, we'll send data anyway,
We'll send data.
but don't pollute my
so don't store
database.
it in there. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's the sort of global country strategy for Singapore, for which hospitals and healthcare is a part. They are moving to a one-patient record, but again, it's going to be, when you sort of look at that, it's probably going to be more a virtual record, in the sense that it looks like it's one patient record, but really it's data from a variety of sources. When we hear the VA next week, we have one of the best information systems around, and quite clearly we'll say it's one patient, one record. Technically it's not. Technically it's not. It's probably 200 different records. And what they do though is that their system is such that when a clinician asks to bring up a patient record, all the relevant data about that patient is brought electronically from all the various places it sits into a sort of a temporary workspace, so to speak. So it looks like it's one patient already. But technically, it's not.
I think about rounding, like multidisciplinary rounding. We each come with, knowledge, and we come and we share and we go off. And, I don't know, that kind of makes sense for me, that
Rounding. It's a new word for me.
multidisciplinary round. So in ICU,
Oh, rounding.
all of the
Rounds.
disciplines
Rounds.
come.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes, rounds, okay.
Call it
Right. Just gonna work through rounding. Got all sorts of images in my head.
We just call it
Yeah,
that.
rounds, yeah. Okay. Well, there's their exchange, okay? There are their two big groups. And their GPs, Ministry of Health, each of the departments, community hospitals, and their exchange box, which will allow them to move data around across. Taiwan. Taiwan has got an interesting approach. Taiwan is, well, go back a step. A number of countries in the world, particularly in Europe and Taiwan, use a smart card. Okay? And what it is a card with a chip in it, which is used by patients to uniquely identify themselves. And many countries of the world also give their clinicians a smart card, which is used as an access mechanism into systems. So in England, as an example, I think every clinician now has, or will have, I think we all have that, has a card which is used as a digital signature card, which allows them to access the spine in some of care. They also don't have them all now, but many people are using it. And that's common, it's quite common in many, many countries in Europe. The Taiwanese also have a smart card, which every citizen has, but theirs is different. This is quite different. It's different in the sense that around the rest of the world, the patient's or client's or individual smart card is for identification purposes only. So it has very basic demographics. Other than name, address, and unique number, very little beyond that. But the Taiwanese put medical data on their card. And that's what makes them unique. I believe they're still the only country that is doing that. And what I was told recently that Estonia apparently is going to do the same. And the Germans have intentions of doing that, but at the moment they are stalled right now. So the Taiwanese card contains clinical data, okay? And that data shows you not only the personal and the national health insurance, but also the medical service information, including medications and most recent visits to a physician or to a clinic. So it doesn't store all of it, but it definitely stores some. Okay. Yep.
Do those countries have like a lot of concerns over identity theft and fraud? That sort of kind of panic people get here when you even mention something like that.
Yeah. I suspect that, sure, I would suspect that it is.